G'day, Max Wright here, and a really fun video for you today. We're going to take a look at some predictions and projections about where Bitcoin will get to in this 2021 bull market. Most people are saying it's over, not me. There's plenty more to go. But before I get to that, I wanted to make this video as like one kind of a place where I could document all of my predictions over the years and years and years I've been doing Bitcoin predictions, and then go back and see exactly how they have panned out to see if I'm worth listening to at all. Now, before I get to that, I should say, if you are waiting to get onto a webinar, a live webinar, when that webinar starts, go ahead, turn this video off and start that webinar. This video has been emailed to you and you can watch it later at your own leisure. So if the webinar starts, go to it. Now, in order to document my past predictions and see how they've planned out, I thought it would be a really fun way to do it. If you've seen the movie Inception, it's about a dream within a dream within a dream. Well, this is going to be a YouTube video within a YouTube video within a YouTube video. So as I pull this up on the screen here, let's go ahead and check out a video that I have made in the past, and then we'll see how close the predictions were. This is a video I posted in May of 2019, and it predicts the price of Bitcoin in May of 2020 and 2021. We'll get to that in a second. But in this video, you'll see I'm actually reviewing a video here that was recorded in October 2015. And so let's go ahead and play that clip now and see how those predictions turned out. Basically, in October of 2015, I made the prediction that June of 2016 will be the next big bubble in Bitcoin. So let's go and take a look at the price action back then. Here we are in, let's see, 2017, coming into 2016, October 2015, right here. So when the Bitcoin price was $230, I think there was a flash crash back here. It went all the way down to $150. That $152, that was the absolute minimum post 2013 boom. That was the bottom of the crash, 152. In October here, $230. I said that sort of Q2, June 2016 will be the beginning of the bull run. And let's come up to June here of 2016, and the price was kind of, that's May, let's go to June, up a little bit, $550. So I told people when it was 200 that, now's the time to buy. The real price action is going to start moving about 9 months from now, June. And you can see actually right there was a little bit of a bump, kind of settled down again, but then off to the races and all the way through until $20,000. Looking back, it all looks pretty smooth. Obviously, it's always a roller coaster, but from the prediction way back here, it was just a stellar prediction, which obviously I'm very proud of. Okay, so a pretty amazing result and prediction. I mean, don't you wish that I was your teacher back then and you bought Bitcoin for $250 a coin? I mean, I can't tell you how many people I've made incredibly rich over the years with these predictions, but nonetheless, here's another cool thing. In that same video, you'll remember it was from, I believe, May in 2019. Later on in that video, I made my predictions about the 2021 bull run, which we're in right now. So let's go take a look at those and see how I did. So here's my first prediction. $3,100 times 5, we're going to call it 15,500. Yeah, 15,500. That's my price prediction for May 2020. That's my price prediction for May of 2020. That's the date the halving is actually going to happen. And that's my prediction. That's my price prediction for that day. We're a good 13 months out. So this prediction is for 13 months out. So if that holds true, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to make 500% on our money in the next 13 months. That's pretty good. I like it. Okay, first prediction was for 12 months into the future. It was May of 2020, 15,500. Later in that same video, I make another prediction for 2 years out. Let's go and check that out. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that. We'll put that one up there. I think it's 100K plus, and it'll occur May 2021. Okay. As we get closer to the date, I let all my paid subscribers know when I think that we're near the top and all those kinds of things happen. But for where are we? We're 2 years out. I'm calling that the high is over $100,000. Okay, so let's go now with the benefit of hindsight and take a look at my predictions and see how they turned out. So my first prediction was for right here in May of 2020, and we see that we hit $10,000 Bitcoin. Now I said we were going to go up 5x to 15,000. Turns out we went up 3.3x to only 10,000. Now, don't you wish I was your teacher back in 2019? But before we get to the next one, I think we should explore the narrative of my predictions. The narrative of my predictions was the following 12 months up until May 2020 was going to be a really good year. 5 times in your money. It turned out we tripled our money. 5 times your money is going to be a good year. But the really big move is going to happen in 2021, where we were going to go absolutely nuts. From the lows of $3,000, my prediction was to get up to $100,000. That represents it's a 30x, right? 33x. What did we get up to in May of 2021? We actually got up to 65 in April, but the peak in May was $60,000. So it wasn't a 33x, it was a 20x. Again, I overshot the market. But don't you wish I was your teacher in 2019? So when I was teaching people to get into Bitcoin at $3,000 when I thought the lows were in for the year. So now why did I miss? Why did I miss? Well, remember those predictions were made in 2019. Nobody had ever heard of coronavirus. Nobody had ever heard of lockdowns. What's a lockdown? We didn't even know. Can you imagine back there? And we were trending beautifully. This trend right here, it's heading up, and I think we were going to hit May $15,000 absolutely perfectly. But of course, March 2020 steps in, lockdowns occur, and our insane response to it, and we have this crazy dip down in the market, and it sets us back a little bit. And I think without the coronavirus and the whole response to it, I think I would have got these predictions much more accurately. But still, the narrative was true, and the concepts were true. Corona stepped in, knocked those a little bit off kilter. So now I think it's time to step in and add that into this video, I guess, as a look back at how my predictions have turned out. It's pretty awesome, pretty awesome. I'm pretty proud of them. No one had ever factored in Corona. And I got the narrative correct. The year was going to be a good year followed by an amazing year. But here's the catch. 2021 is not over. Now, most people, a lot of people, I'd say most people are saying 2021 Bitcoin bull run is over. Forget about it. It's finished. I say forget about that. There's no chance. There's no chance. I think Bitcoin is about to go on an absolutely epic run. And it's actually, I wouldn't even be making this video unless I believe that. You'll understand why in just a moment. But I think we will see 6-figure Bitcoin before the end of the year. Now, I will let you in on my actual prediction in just a moment. But before I do, I want to go back and watch one more clip from that video back in 2019, so it'll set the stage for what I'm about to share. To give you an idea of just how accurate I have been with using this method and other methods, let me just go through what the predictions I've made to my paid subscribers, all verified via email, etc. So I first discovered Bitcoin in 2012, I beg your pardon. It was right at the time of the halving, but I didn't know what it was. The price was $11, okay? I told people to buy immediately, and they did. Price went up to 266. I did. At $240, I told people to take profits. Price came back down to $66. Went back up to $1,200. Hits $1,200 here. 2 days before the peak, I emailed the subscribers, says time to get out. Take your profits, get out right now. So I was 2 days out on that one. Price came back down. I think on some exchanges it hit something like 150. Well, you saw the one on YouTube. I predicted here at 220. We've got the low in. To paid subscribers, it was a little bit earlier. We've got the low in, guys. Go ahead, start accumulating like crazy now. this guy runs up to $20,000. I was a little bit early this time. At $15,000, I told people to take profits here. I was a little bit early on that one. Price crashed back down, hit 3,100. And we'll see. Maybe this isn't I called the low at about 3,500. It maybe go a little bit lower yet, so I could be wrong, and that's too early to call that. But I think I'm going to be right here. And now I've just made those two predictions. May 2020, 15,000. May 2021, over 100,000. And so right now, the big takeaway is you are here in the cup and handle. You're right at the bottom. Now is the time to accumulate Bitcoin like crazy. I've been selling a product since 2012, maybe January 2013, called the Bitcoin Starter Kit. And I know with absolute certainty, I could sell, during the manias, here and here, here and here, I could sell $3 or $4 million worth of the Bitcoin Starter Kit. I can't bring myself to do it. I feel like I'm leading the lamb to slaughter. I can't make a whole bunch of money selling the Bitcoin Starter Kit. During the mania, that's when everyone wants to buy Bitcoin. That's when everyone wants to find out more about Bitcoin. That's when everyone wants to, oh, quick, teach me about Bitcoin. I get it. I need to buy it now. And I just refuse to sell it then. I've never done it. And I only sell the Bitcoin Starter Kit down here when it's the right time to buy. I only think I've sold like $200,000 or $300,000 worth of the Bitcoin Starter Kit in history, because I only do it here and here and here. I don't sell it when it's up here, and I don't sell it when it's up here. Okay, so I thought it was important for you to understand the history of my predictions, their success so far, and where I come from as a person and as a business. But I think there's two important things that we should talk about right now. Number one, don't let the fancy green screen graphics behind me confuse you. I am not your personal financial advisor. I'm an educator. I love teaching and I love sharing my knowledge, and this information is provided for educational purposes only. It is up to you to decide where the markets are going to go now. And number two, past success is no guarantee of future success, right? It all comes down to you acquiring the information and knowledge that I share, and then you making the decisions, and I can help you with all of that. Now, with that being said, I have to confess, the last time I did a really big push, I was like, the price of Bitcoin was around $10,000, and I was like, guys, this is your last big chance. 2021 is going to go parabolic, and it's going to be an epic year, and I'm expecting massive numbers, six figures at least for 2021. And I thought it was probably the last time I was going to sell Success Council. But two things have changed. We've been given a beautiful gift. The first beautiful gift is right here. We have just had, right here in the middle of this epic bull run, we have had a 56% correction. That is just amazing. It is an absolute gift to have this second accumulation period available to us right here in the middle of this bull market. Okay, like I said in the past, once the price is rocketing up, I don't want to take on more customers. I don't want to take on more students. Because I don't want them to get in at the wrong time. But when there's crying in the streets, that's the time to get in. And just recently, this whole time, all the experts are saying Bitcoin's crashed, it's going lower, it's a disaster. Now is the time to get back in and capture what I believe is going to be an epic last 6 months to 2021. Now, with that being said, I think it's important for you to understand the update I have in my prediction, okay? Because the other thing that has changed is that Corona happened, the lockdowns happened, and a whole bunch of things down that avenue. And what happens when anything goes bad in the economy these days? Sadly, the government comes and prints trillions of dollars. What is that good for? It is perfect for Bitcoin. Right? So those two big things have changed. So let's go back and take a look at this is a clip that I made in August of 2020 about my updated prediction for what's going to happen in 2021. Let's hear it here. Later in that year, I think the peak of the 2021 boom and bust will be in the second half of 2021. That is my current prediction. And I'm going to massively upgrade it. There are too many things happening in the economy right now, and I think we are going to get to $500,000 Bitcoin. And it's going to happen in the second half of 2021, I predict. Let's make it even more specific so that it increases my chances of being wrong. I'm going to go ahead and say December. December of 2021, expect to see over $500,000 Bitcoin on one condition. I have to specify. I now believe that it is more likely than not that we will see a black swan event in the banking industry before then. Meaning, I believe that there will be a major bank failure in the first world, most likely out of Europe. So think G20 nations in Europe, think Spain, think Italy, think France, think England, Germany. One of these countries or more of them, it could be America or Australia or Canada as well, but one or more of these countries are going to have a major bank failure. And if that happens and we see a bail-in where people's accounts are just chopped in half, even if they just lose access to their money for like a month or so and the banks won't open, something like that, you will see gold, silver, and Bitcoin go absolutely parabolic. And I now believe it is more likely than not that we will see that happen. If that doesn't happen, I don't think we'll hit $500,000 Bitcoin in this cycle. But I think that will happen, and so I'm calling for $500,000 Bitcoin. So a $500,000 Bitcoin, that was the prediction a year ago. But today, July 2021, the price of Bitcoin, $40,000. It seems impossible, but not after you watch this. Take a quick look at this. So this is actually the price of Bitcoin over the years. It's actually the log chart. So if without the log chart, let me just show you. It just looks like a big hockey stick because, when 60,000 Bitcoins up here, all of a sudden you can't see the movements between $10 to $1,000. So this is the log chart of Bitcoin. And what that means is each one of these lines. So if this was like $1 to $10, well, up here, this would be like $1,000 to $10,000. So it just makes it so that we could see the early moves as well. Now, as you guys know, Bitcoin has a 4-year cycle. We are going to have a top here in 2021. Maybe this is it. I don't think so. I think we've got a higher top to get to. 2017, there was a top. 2013, there was a top. Now, I want to draw your attention in here to 2013. 2013 was the best year for Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin started off way down here at the beginning of the year at like $10. And by the end of the year, it was at $1,200. It hit $1,200 up here. In 10 months, it hit $1,200. $10 to $1,200. We're talking about 100x. Now, why? The reason was there was a lot of things that were very, very favorable to Bitcoin that year. Namely, the Cyprus banking crisis was a part of it, but there's some other things too. I won't go into it, but here is the point. It was an extremely good year for Bitcoin. And right in the middle of that year, in the beginning of summer, Bitcoin suffered a massive loss. It got up to 260 in April, and then at the beginning of summer, it went all the way down. It found its way down to $40. It was about an 80% correction. Right in the middle of the year, when it went up 100x, from $10 to over $1,000, in the middle of that year, it had an 80% correction. Okay, where do we find ourselves now? I'll take ourselves off the log chart. We find ourselves at the beginning of 2020. We were, where are we here? So we're in 2021, aren't we? So we find ourselves at around $10,000. We find ourselves at around $10,000. And right here in the middle of this year, just at the start of summer, we have an April peak of $65,000 and a 50% correction. I think that this year, the 2021 bull market, is going to look very similar to the 2013 bull market. Now, if the 2013 bull market was to play out exactly to go 100x from $10,000 would put the Bitcoin price at $1 million per Bitcoin in 5 months' time from now. Now, that is absolutely obscene, and I'm not saying that that's going to happen. I'm just saying Bitcoin can do incredible things. And we are in a very good year for Bitcoin. Every single central bank on the planet is printing like mad. However, we are running out of time. For my prediction to be correct about December 500,000 Bitcoin, we need to see some action here pretty soon. And we can see, like, maybe, arguably, we could say we've seen the start of that in the last couple of weeks with a huge move from $30,000 up to $40,000 in the last couple of weeks. But nonetheless, time is running out for a black swan event for a significant banking failure, which is what was the precursor for the prediction of $500,000, was there needs to be a black swan event in the banking environment. If that actually happens and happens in the next few months, which I still think is a very, 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 very high possibility. I won't go into all the charts for why. It's a good possibility that that could happen. But if that doesn't happen, even if that doesn't happen, I still think Bitcoin can get to between $100,000 and $300,000 in just the next 6 months, right? So from $40,000, we're talking about double and a half to something in the order of 8x. If there is that black swan event, a 10x is absolutely a possibility in the next 6 months, in my opinion. So this is a very, very, very exciting time. Now, I'll say this also. There could absolutely be a big kind of a crash in the market, real estate down, stock market down, everything down. If that happens, the price of Bitcoin will come down a little bit. But we know, you know, I know, everyone knows what the response will be by governments around the world to fix that problem. They will print trillions upon trillions upon trillions of dollars like mad. And even so, there's no black swan event. I think the price of Bitcoin is going to do very well, $100,000 to $300,000. If there is a black swan event, you'll see markets crash everywhere. You might see Bitcoin go down a little bit more. It's a possibility. But then you will see the governments print, and the whole world, all of a sudden, almost in unison, will realize the currencies are going to zero. And Bitcoin is their savior. And in a very short amount of time, 3 months, 6 months after that crash, you will see Bitcoin go absolutely parabolic and just take out new highs and go absolutely crazy. Who knows how high it could be? So that's why I am reopening. This whole period up here when Bitcoin was above $60,000, $50,000, I wasn't selling Success Council. I wasn't selling Success Council. You couldn't buy it. I wasn't doing it. The price was too high. I now think we have been given a second chance in the middle of this bull run where the opportunity to join Success Council makes sense because you can in my opinion, I think the markets are going to play out in a way such that you're going to make your money back 10 times over in a space of 6 months. So I feel very, very comfortable about endorsing Success Council, my product, teaching people how to get involved in Bitcoin and investing, and doing so right now because we have what I think is going to be an absolutely epic 6 months. So this is, I've said it before, I said it back here when I very last sold the Success Council membership, but I think we've been given a second chance with this beautiful big 50% correction, and we've got one more chance to accumulate a whole chunk of Bitcoin before the end of 2021. And of course, I'll be letting members know when I get out near the top, and then the price will come back down the next few years. We'll get a chance to accumulate more. But now is an amazing time to get involved. So if you like this content, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, tell me if you're excited by Bitcoin. And also the first link in this description. If you're watching this video, maybe a few months after it was released, check out the first link in the description and get on my mailing list. Sign up. You can maybe watch a replay of the webinar or sign up to the webinar. Just join the mailing. Just put your email down anywhere in my website, and you'll be on the mailing list, and you will be able to get my updates, which you really, really want. So guys, with that, take care. It's been a pleasure to make this Inception-like video, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Take care.